Have you ever wondered why your refrigerator keeps smelling bad no matter how many times you clean it? This is a problem many people know. That unpleasant smell that simply won't go away. You open the door and bam! That bad odor hits you in the face. But why does this happen repeatedly? And more importantly, how can you end this problem once and for all? That's exactly what we're going to show today. In this video, you'll discover what's really behind your smelly refrigerator. Often it's small mistakes or things you wouldn't imagine. But don't worry, the solution is simpler than you think. You don't need expensive products or hours of scrubbing to eliminate bad odors. With the 15 tips we're going to present now, you can make your refrigerator fresh and clean quickly and for a long time. And believe me, some of these tips will surprise you for being so simple that anyone can do them. Stay until the end, because the last tip is one of the most valuable, exactly the one that will revolutionize your refrigerator. So get ready, because now we're going to show you how to transform your refrigerator into a place that smells good and where storing food is a pleasure. No more unpleasant surprises, just pure air and flavor. Let's begin. 1. Store food correctly. Many people don't even realize that a smelly refrigerator usually happens because food is stored the wrong way. Just imagine, you put everything in any place without paying attention to packaging or expiration dates. What happens? Sometimes juice leaks, leftovers are left open, smells mix, and the mess in the refrigerator begins. The result? Mold and bad odors that stick and almost never come out. To avoid this, storing food correctly is the first and most important step. How to do this in practice? First, you should put all open foods in tightly sealed containers or airtight containers. This way, nothing leaks and the smells stay inside, instead of turning your refrigerator into an odor trap. For example, if you have leftover tomato sauce today, put it in a container with a lid right away. Don't just cover it with plastic wrap. Fruits and vegetables should also be stored separately, as some types release ethylene, a gas that makes other foods ripen and rot faster. An apple next to lettuce? Better not. In addition, organization is fundamental. Put fresh foods in the back and those that spoil quickly in the front, so you consume them first. This way, you avoid food being stored for too long and ending up spoiling. Perhaps you've already forgotten an expired yogurt. Throw it away immediately and put it in the trash before it starts to stink. If you apply this simple rule, your refrigerator will have much less chance of developing unpleasant odors. The advantage is, your environment becomes fresher, your food lasts longer, and you save money and time because nothing spoils unnecessarily. Plus, this organization helps when cooking because you quickly find what you need. No more desperate searching and no unpleasant surprises when opening the door. Storing food correctly is the foundation. This way you establish the basis for a pleasant smell in the refrigerator. If you take this seriously, you'll already be taking a big step against constant odor. So make this a habit. Store your food correctly. You will feel and notice the difference every day. 2. Regularly remove expired and spoiled foods. A big reason why your refrigerator smells bad is forgotten expired or spoiled foods. These little time bombs release unpleasant odors that spread quickly throughout the refrigerator and are difficult to eliminate. Many people open the door, see a lot of food and think, this still looks good. But the damage may already be there without you directly noticing it. That's why it's so important to regularly check your refrigerator and discard immediately expired or spoiled products. How to do this in practice? Set aside time once a week, for example on Sundays or another fixed day, and check everything in the refrigerator. Look at expiration dates, smell the food, and see if anything is slimy or discolored. You'll be surprised at how much useless stuff accumulates, which just stinks and overloads your refrigerator. A real example. You find that open can of olives you bought 2 weeks ago. The expiration date hasn't passed yet, but the smell is strange and it doesn't seem fresh anymore. Throw it away. Or that vegetable in the drawer that's already soft or dark, straight to the trash. This simple action works miracles. As soon as these villains are removed, most bad odors also disappear. In addition, you prevent mold formation. And honestly, it's much more pleasant when you open your refrigerator and don't get an unpleasant surprise. The advantages are clear. Your refrigerator stays fresh longer, odors disappear, and you ensure better hygiene. At the same time, you protect your health, as spoiled food can cause illness. Those who regularly remove expired and spoiled things also save money, as they avoid being put off by other foods because of bad odors and unnecessarily buying new food. This way, you also prevent valuable food from ending up in the trash along with the rest. So make this little routine a habit. When you keep your refrigerator clean, it will save you a lot of stress regarding odors and organization. And remember, one of the secret tips against bad smell is still waiting at the end of this video. Keep watching. 3. Set the correct temperature. A common reason for unpleasant odors in the refrigerator is the wrong temperature. If the refrigerator is too hot, food spoils faster. If it's too cold, it can lead to moisture and ice formation, and this creates ideal conditions for mold and unpleasant smells. Many people think the colder the better, but that's a mistake. If the temperature isn't correct, your refrigerator will be neither fresh nor odor-free. How to solve this in practice? First, check if your refrigerator has a thermometer or a temperature indicator. The ideal temperature is between 3 and 5 degrees Celsius, not colder than that. Adjust your appliance to this setting. If you don't have a built-in thermometer, you can buy a small refrigerator thermometer, which doesn't cost much. Place it inside for a few hours and check the temperature. If it's too hot, you need to adjust the settings or check the ventilation openings. For example, my sister always had problems with bad odors until she realized her refrigerator was running too hot because the setting was at 8 degrees. After she reduced the temperature to 4 degrees, the food stayed fresh longer and the smell disappeared in just a few days. In addition, you should ensure that no food is blocking the ventilation openings. They ensure that cold air can circulate. If air circulation is compromised, it gets very humid, and that's fertile ground for bad odors. The advantages of a correct temperature are enormous. Your food stays fresh longer, there's less mold formation, and your refrigerator stays odor-free. Plus, you save energy, as a poorly adjusted refrigerator often consumes more electricity. In summary, the correct temperature is the key to a fresh and healthy refrigerator. Take time to check this setting. It makes all the difference for you, for your health, and of course, for your daily comfort with freshness. Make your life easier. With the right temperature, you lose the bad smell definitively. 4. Regularly clean the refrigerator door. Seals. Many people underestimate how important the door seals of the refrigerator are for the smell. When these seals are dirty or damaged, dirt, food residue, and moisture can accumulate there. This creates ideal conditions for bacteria, mold, and unpleasant odors. Often we don't even realize that this is exactly where the problem is, because the seal isn't directly in the field of vision. However, cleaning the seals is a simple and effective method to quickly combat bad smell in your refrigerator. How to do this in practice? Set aside time once a month to take a damp cloth or sponge, a little mild detergent, and completely clean the seals. Pay special attention to folds and cracks, where most of the dirt usually hides. If you want, you can also use an old toothbrush to clean the hard-to-reach places well. A real example. My friend always complained about the moldy smell in his refrigerator. Only after searching a bit, we checked the seals, and there it was, all sticky and full of dirt. After a complete cleaning, the smell improved immediately. In addition, you should check for cracks or deformations in the seals. Damage can make the door not close properly, allowing hot air to enter and creating moisture. This again favors odors and increases energy consumption. If you discover damaged seals, it's worth replacing them. The advantages of a clean and intact door seal are obvious. Your refrigerator stays cold longer, food is better preserved, and unpleasant odors are drastically reduced. In addition, you prevent mold and bacteria from settling there. And the best part, this cleaning hardly costs time or money but brings much freshness and comfort to your daily life. So, make this little routine a habit. Regularly clean and check the door seals of the refrigerator. This not only ensures the fresh taste of your food, but also provides more hygiene in your kitchen. It's a simple, practical, and extremely effective method to keep your refrigerator permanently odor-free. You can believe it, your sense of smell will thank you. Before we continue with the next tip, I want to ask you to subscribe to our channel. This way you won't miss other useful ideas for your daily life. And don't forget to activate the bell. This way you'll receive a notification immediately when there's something new. Now I'm curious, which of these tips do you already use in your house? Write in the comments and also tell us which city you're watching from. Maybe you'll find even more new inspirations here. Or what surprised you the most so far? I'm looking forward to seeing your opinion and exchanging ideas with you. Your opinion is important and motivates us to continue. So let us hear from you. Okay, right now, let's continue with our next important tip. 5. Close bottles and jars correctly. A very common reason for your refrigerator to smell bad is that bottles or jars aren't well sealed. Seems simple, doesn't it? But many people underestimate exactly this small thing that has a big impact on the smell. When, for example, a sauce, a yogurt, or a half-open water bottle isn't well closed, odors escape, mix with other things in the refrigerator, and create an unpleasant smell. In addition, this can attract moisture and even small flies or other insects, something nobody wants in the refrigerator. How can you apply this in practice? Always make sure that all bottles and jars are well closed after use. Maybe you notice open pots with leftovers. Just cover with plastic wrap or transfer to an airtight container. An everyday example. My sister always had this moldy smell in the refrigerator. When we looked together, we found a half-open bottle of mustard and a yogurt without a lid. After we closed everything properly, the smell improved quickly, and the refrigerator finally smelled fresh again. The advantage isn't just that unpleasant odors disappear. Your food also stays fresh longer because it doesn't have direct contact with the air. This way you avoid premature spoilage and save money. Plus, you'll feel much better when opening your refrigerator. It only takes a small habit, but it makes a huge difference. So establish the rule. Always close everything well, be it bottle, jar, or can. This is one of the simplest and most effective ways to solve odor problems in your refrigerator. Your nose will thank you. 6. Clean the refrigerator, but the right way. A smelly refrigerator often happens simply because it isn't cleaned correctly. It's not enough to quickly wipe with a cloth. Food residues, spilled liquids, or areas with crumbs can easily hide under the shelves or in corners we rarely see. Bacteria and mold accumulate there that cause bad odors. When you clean your refrigerator correctly and completely, these villains disappear. But how to do this in practice? First, you should completely empty the refrigerator and remove the shelves, compartments, and drawers. You can wash them with warm water and a mild detergent. Difficult stains can be removed with a sponge or a soft brush. An example: my neighbor had recurring problems with an unpleasant odor in the refrigerator. When we cleaned his refrigerator together, we discovered spilled milk residue under one of the shelves, which was already slightly spoiled. After we cleaned everything completely, the smell improved immediately. Another tip is to also clean the walls and the door seals. Invisible dirt often accumulates there. Let the parts dry well after cleaning before putting everything back. The advantages are obvious. A really clean refrigerator prevents bad odors, prevents mold, and ensures that your food stays fresh longer. In addition, you create a hygienic environment that is healthy for you and your family. Cleaning takes a bit of work, but the fresh aroma and the good feeling afterward are well worth it. Make this complete cleaning a habit from now on, preferably once a month. This way you'll have a guarantee of a refrigerator that doesn't stink, but smells fresh and invites you to feel good. Your nose and your stomach will thank you. 7. Don't leave. Open liquids in the refrigerator. A common mistake that causes unpleasant odors is storing open liquids in the refrigerator. When you leave water, juices, or soups without a lid or seal, the liquid evaporates and spreads its odors throughout the entire refrigerator. This creates a humid environment where bacteria can multiply quickly, and this is exactly what leads to that unpleasant smell that simply won't go away. The solution is simple and effective. How to implement this in everyday life? Make sure that all liquids are always well sealed. Use bottles with lids, glass jars, or well-sealed containers. A real example: my friend always had a moldy smell in the refrigerator. When we looked together, we found an open bottle of orange juice and a half-full bowl of soup without a lid. After she covered all the liquids, the bad smell disappeared in a few days. In addition, it's practical to transfer leftovers immediately to suitable containers instead of leaving them in open pots or bowls. This not only prevents odors but also protects the food against contamination. The direct advantage of this small habit: your refrigerator stays fresh longer, unpleasant odors disappear, and your food is better preserved. It's a simple measure that requires little effort but has a big effect. You avoid humid areas, mold, and unwanted aromas. So, always cover liquids. This way you transform your refrigerator into a fresh place where your food is safely stored and you feel good when opening the door. This small change produces a big effect. Try it. 8. Regularly clean the drip tray. Many people don't know that there's a drip tray under the refrigerator, which is often forgotten. This tray collects water that forms during defrosting or from condensation. If it's dirty or full, the water can start to smell bad and thus make your entire refrigerator have an unpleasant odor. The problem is that the drip tray is usually well hidden and isn't checked regularly. Dirt, bacteria, and sometimes even small food residues accumulate. Perfect conditions for bad smell. But cleaning the drip tray is easier than many think. In practice, you can usually easily remove the tray or carefully empty it. Then clean it with warm water and a little detergent, rinse well, and let it dry completely before putting it back. A real example: a friend had recurring moldy smell in the refrigerator, although he cleaned it regularly. Only when we checked the drip tray, we discovered it was full and dirty. After cleaning, the smell disappeared immediately. It's worth therefore not forgetting this tray during cleaning. The advantage of regular cleaning is clear. You prevent bad odors from spreading through the refrigerator. In addition, you protect your appliance against damage, as too much water in the drip tray can also affect the electronic components. Plus, a clean tray promotes hygiene and ensures that your refrigerator stays fresh and healthy. Transform this small routine into a habit, preferably once a month when cleaning your refrigerator. This way, the drip tray stays clean and the unpleasant odor has no chance. Your refrigerator will thank you with a fresh aroma, and you will feel much better when opening it. Small measures like this make a big difference. So remember, check and clean the drip tray for a day-to-day with a fresh refrigerator. 9. Use odor absorbers. A refrigerator often stinks because unpleasant odors accumulate and don't disappear on their own. A simple and proven method against this is so-called odor absorbers. These are small helpers that absorb bad odors and neutralize them. For example, a bowl with baking soda, coffee grounds, or even a piece of charcoal. The problem: without an odor absorber, the unpleasant smell often remains for a long time, even if you keep your refrigerator clean. How to do this in practice in a simple way? Take a small bowl or an open container and fill it with baking soda, which you can buy in any supermarket. Place this bowl in one of the corners of your refrigerator. Alternatively, dry coffee grounds from the coffee filter also work. It absorbs moisture and fixes odors. By the way, you can exchange the coffee grounds after a few weeks and use them, for example, to water plants. A real-life example: my father had recurring problems with moldy smell in the refrigerator. After he put a bowl with baking soda inside, he felt a noticeable improvement in a few days. The odor was neutralized and opening the refrigerator became much more pleasant. The advantage of this simple solution: You don't need expensive products or much effort. Baking soda is cheap, ecological, and a true secret tip against bad odors. In addition, this method keeps the air in the refrigerator fresh and ensures that new odors don't even get fixed. This way you create a more pleasant environment for your food and for yourself. So give your refrigerator this little support. This way, the irritating smell will disappear step by step, and all without chemicals. It's a simple and efficient way to keep your refrigerator fresh and ensure a pleasant climate in the long term. Try it. You'll feel the difference immediately. 10. Turn off the refrigerator light. You might think that the light in the refrigerator is only there to see better when you open it. But did you know it can also influence the smell of your refrigerator? If the light stays on for too long or constantly, it can slightly increase the temperature and promote the growth of bacteria and mold. Especially in older refrigerators, the light can emit heat that negatively affects the freshness of food. The problem? Many forget to turn off the light or leave the refrigerator door open for too long so that the light is permanently on. This creates ideal conditions for unpleasant odors because bacteria can multiply more quickly. How to solve this in practice? Simply pay attention not to leave the refrigerator door open unnecessarily for too long and turn off the light. If your refrigerator has an incandescent bulb, you can also change to LED bulbs, which generate less heat. A real-life example: a friend's refrigerator light didn't turn off automatically. This caused the bulb to stay on for hours because the door didn't close properly. He simply couldn't get rid of the smell in the refrigerator. After changing the incandescent bulb to an LED, the problem was solved. The bad smell disappeared. The advantages are clear. When the light doesn't stay on unnecessarily, the temperature remains stable, food stays fresh longer, and bad odors don't form so quickly. In addition, you save electricity if you turn off the light or change to energy-efficient bulbs. It's a simple measure that can make a big difference. So remember, the next time you open your refrigerator, don't leave the door open for too long. And if necessary, check the bulb. This way, you prevent the refrigerator from smelling bad and ensure fresh air and good mood when getting food. This small attention makes your refrigerator better every day. 11. Before we get to the last tip, I want to show you something very special. I've written an ebook that helps you with simple and proven cleaning techniques. In it, you'll find a clear step-by-step plan with many strategies that you can implement today. The best of all, the ebook is super practical, short, and brings exactly what you need without frills. It's directed at everyone who wants to make their life easier and more relaxed, with a cleaning that really lasts. The link is conveniently fixed for you in the comments. Don't forget to check it out. I'm sure you'll find many valuable tips that will change your daily life. So run there, download the ebook, and then tell me what you thought. I'm looking forward to your feedback. 12. Regularly ventilate the refrigerator. Many think that a refrigerator is always well closed and doesn't need fresh air. But that's exactly what can be a problem. When the air in the refrigerator stays stagnant for too long and barely circulates, odors and moisture accumulate. This makes your refrigerator smell bad and food spoil faster. In addition, this way bacteria and mold can spread more easily. That's why it's important to ventilate the refrigerator from time to time. How to do this in practice? Simply open your refrigerator for a few minutes, preferably when it's almost empty or when you're organizing the food. Leave the door open so that air can circulate. An example: my mother does this approximately once a month. She empties the refrigerator, leaves the door open for 10 minutes, and then quickly wipes it. After that, the smell is much fresher. You can do this especially when cleaning your refrigerator or when you notice it has an unpleasant smell. This way you help the air to renew itself, and bad odors disappear more quickly. The advantage of this is that your refrigerator stays fresh, and you ensure that your food lasts longer. In addition, you can reduce the moisture that favors mold. Ventilation is a simple and effective method that you can easily incorporate into your daily life. It hardly takes any time, but brings much to have clean and fresh air in your refrigerator. So, give your refrigerator some air regularly you'll notice how good it is. Fresh air is something small, but it makes a big difference. Try it and enjoy the fresh aroma each time you open the refrigerator door. 13. Don't overfill it. A very simple reason why your refrigerator might smell bad is that it's simply too full. When you put too many foods and containers inside, the cold air inside can't circulate properly. This makes some corners warmer, moisture increases, and food spoils more quickly. These warm and humid places promote the smell of spoiled food and attract bacteria. Many might think that a full refrigerator is practical because everything is within reach, but in reality, too much inside creates more chaos and bad odors. How can you change this? In practice, this means think carefully about each purchase, about what you really need and what you'll consume soon. Organize the refrigerator so that there's enough space between the foods so that air can circulate well. A real example. At a friend's house, you could smell the bad odor right at the door. Then we discovered that his refrigerator was completely overloaded with bags and containers, stacked. After he organized and left only the most important things, you could feel the difference right away. The air could flow, and the bad smell disappeared. The advantages are clear. You ensure better air circulation, your food stays fresh longer, and the refrigerator continues to smell good even after days. In addition, you find what you need more quickly and reduce food waste. Therefore, it's better to clean regularly than to simply throw everything in there. An organized refrigerator not only makes life easier, but also keeps unpleasant odors away. Start today and give your refrigerator room to breathe. Your nose and your wallet will thank you. 14. Dispose of food scraps immediately. One of the main reasons for bad smell in the refrigerator is food scraps that haven't been removed. These small residues spoil quickly and can spread horrible odors that stick to the entire refrigerator. The problem is that we often think that leaving a little bit of food doesn't do any harm, but that's exactly the mistake. Even a small pot of yogurt forgotten or an open plate with leftovers can make the air in the refrigerator unpleasant. How to avoid this in practice? Establish a simple rule. As soon as food is left over, throw away all the remains that you won't eat soon or put them in well-sealed containers. Customers recommend thinking already during cooking about how much food you really need. This way, less is left over. An example. My neighbor had difficulties with the bad smell for a long time. After a tip, I recommended that he throw away all old leftovers and only keep fresh food in the refrigerator. He changed his behavior immediately and felt the difference after just a few days. The air in the refrigerator smelled much better. The bad smell disappeared. The advantage is that this way, you not only avoid unpleasant odors, but also reduce mold and bacteria. Your refrigerator stays clean and healthy. In addition, you save space and have a better view of what you have. This makes cooking and shopping easier and less stressful. So take the first step and declare war on food scraps. Your refrigerator and your nose will thank you. 15. Now you know all. 15 tips. Now you know 15 tips that really work to get rid of the bad smell in your refrigerator, and mainly how you can finally change this. Important are correct storage, regular removal of old food, adequate temperature, and complete cleaning. Also very helpful are closing bottles well, cleaning the drip tray, and ventilating the refrigerator to permanently eliminate unpleasant odors. Each tip is easy to implement and ensures that your refrigerator stays fresh and your food lasts longer. The best of all, you don't need expensive tricks or much time. There are small changes that make a big difference. Now you have everything you need to persist and transform your refrigerator into a place where you feel good. Every day, motivation is the key. Take the first step. Start today, applying a tip, be it organizing, adjusting the temperature, or closing bottles well. You'll notice how your daily life improves quickly when the refrigerator smells fresh and is clean. My challenge for you. Which of these tips will you try first? Write in the comments or share your experience. Let's ensure together that refrigerators with bad smell are soon a thing of the past. Are you ready? Then start!